Yes, welcome on in, everybody, to the Saturday Night Network for another edition of our cast preview podcast. Here today to talk about Chloe Fineman returning for her 7th season at Saturday Night Live. And joining me today for her 5th season at the SNN is Morgan Killoren. Morgan, how are you?
I'm great, John. I'm so happy to be here, excited to kick this off, and excited to talk about Chloe. She is one of my favorite female cast members. I'm really happy that she is not leaving us, and there's a lot to dive into. So I'm excited to kick it off. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been really fun doing these preview podcasts every single day. And you are right. There's a lot to talk about with Chloe Fineman. So excited to get into that in just a moment. We are, of course, here as a presentation of LateNighter.com. And here today, Morgan, to talk about somebody who I think a lot of people thought would not be returning to the show. But she is here, and she has become the most senior woman on the cast with the departures of Heidi and then Ego. So all of a sudden, Chloe has thrust herself into the spotlight even more for this season. So there is a lot to get into. Let's talk about it, Morgan. What are your expectations and excitement for Chloe in her 7th season?
I was actually shocked, like you said, like people thought she was going to leave just because, like, she has a lot going on, like, also outside of SNL. She's very, like, into the fashion world now, and she is, like, huge on social media. And I know, like, all of them get, random, like, commercial and, like, movie kind of roles there. So I am excited that she is staying. It is crazy. I think that she is definitely like mother on the cast. I mean, a lot of the other females like look up to her and they want to work with her, and she's definitely a leader, for everyone there. And I don't see that changing. I mean, even more so, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of her. I feel like we already see a lot of her, obviously alongside Heidi and Ego, but now even more. I mean, her and Bowen, I feel like they get a lot of screen time and they can play a lot of different characters in all the sketches. But yeah, I'm interested to see how they're going to capitalize on Chloe, use her. Whether there's certain things going on like in politics or in the pop culture. Obviously, she's such a good impressionist, and I feel like they're going to continue utilizing her for that. But yeah, I mean, I love seeing her on my screen, so I am excited to see what she's gonna do. And I know she worked so closely, alongside Heidi and Ego. But obviously, and I mean, people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is her chance to step up." I feel like she's already stepped up, like in general, and she is super dominant in a lot of the sketches, and just how she is as a person and being so outgoing. And yeah, so I'm excited to see.
It's interesting because you are right. She has had moments where she stepped up and been a large part of the cast. I always felt like Chloe, first of all, an incredible impressionist, has a lot of great qualities that she brings to the show. I think that she has found a place for herself within the cast that fits really well for her, which is that she doesn't necessarily need the spotlight to be as good of an SNL cast member as she can be. I think she's a great supporting cast member. I think back to some of the sketches like what Mikey Day was doing with Quinta Brunson, that like car altercation sketch where she plays Mikey's daughter and she's making, I guess, hand gestures next to him. Like those are the type of things that I think she's really good to add to and benefit a sketch. I think a couple seasons ago, they were trying to make Chloe one of the stars of the show. And I think she's a star, no doubt, in terms of the, popularity she brings to the show. What she's done outside of the show is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think on Saturday Night Live, she's really found a place for herself that's good as a supporting player. I'm just so fascinated, Morgan, with how that works now that she is the veteran of this cast. Like, can you have the person that's been there the longest be a supporting player? What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think she is a good mix of, she can easily support in all those different kinds of roles she's playing. And they can she is like a chameleon, like she is easy to like add or, subtract. She could add or subtract really in like so many different ways. in a lot of the sketches or even with the pre-tapes. Like she's definitely very adaptable and she can play a lot of different kinds of characters like you were talking about. She could play young, she can play old, she can kind of like shapeshift around. But and I feel like she is just like a strong person. She has such a strong personality and she is so talented that like she can lead also. So I think it will be a good mix of the supporting and the leading for sure.
It'll be really interesting to see. I think that has to be one of the major storylines of the season. And I think that her trajectory in the cast lines up really well with her boyfriend's trajectory in the writer's room. Jake Nordwind, who's partnered with Mike DiCenzo and their writing team, has really led to, a lot of great things for them besides, obviously Jake's relationship to Chloe. But I think that you get to an important voice in the writer's room, an important voice in the cast, and clearly they're very influential at Saturday Night Live. So Morgan, you mentioned that, she did work really well with Heidi, worked well with Ego, and they're both not there anymore. Who fills that void? Who do you see Chloe working with this season in the majority of her sketches?
I mean, I feel like her and Bowen, like in the show and out of the show, like they have this kind of like, dynamic with each other and they have like really good banter and like they work well together. I feel like we'll continue seeing them in a lot together. Definitely Chloe and Sarah, I think, like complement each other a lot. Obviously they're both very strong and like different females. And they kind of complement each other in a good way. Yeah, Chloe's like super grounded, but also Chloe can be crazy. Like we know Sarah's super chaotic, but also like can be very, witty and smart. So I feel like they're definitely a good pairing and I would love to see them more. I mean, I just have to throw out there. Chloe's like always my fave. Sarah's definitely my second like fave female. I mean, obviously Heidi and Ego were also my fave, so I'm sad to see them go. But
Of course.
actually, I'm thinking, John, who like wait, how many females and how many males are in this next
So we
season?
have 5 women in the cast right now, and 10 men minus Jost and Che. So it's really like 12 men and 5 women. It's a really crazy disparity.
No,
Um,
yeah, I saw. I mean, yeah,
but
and with like all the newbies, I mean, I saw there's only one
yeah,
female out of all. Like what?
Veronica, who I
Yeah.
think is an interesting. It'll be interesting to see how she's going to work with somebody like
Yes.
Chloe. Veronica has a very strong personality, but I want to go back to what you said a minute ago. So first off, her relationship to Bowen. So they were
Mhm.
castmates together. They came in as rookies, and they've been alongside each other for the last few years. Bowen has clearly become one of the faces of Saturday Night Live, also one of the biggest stars in the world. You
Mhm.
know, you would have expected that there would be a lot more on screen with them over the last few years, but I think like we get it in small doses. One of the things I think back to last year was that Big Dumb Line music video that all of a sudden like they were producing together, and it was like, oh wow, like seeing something from Bowen and Chloe, like that's exciting. So
Mhm.
I would think that that is a good place for somebody like Chloe to lean on Bowen. To put her in some of his sketches as well. And then Sarah Sherman, it's so fascinating because I feel like Sarah Sherman has the biggest opportunity in the world to take the ball with the season and just run with it. And she is so different to Chloe. The question is, Morgan, can Sarah and Chloe coexist in sketches together? Because can't think of many partnerships between the two of them. But if there was a way for Chloe to support Sarah or Sarah to support Chloe in each other's sketches, I think that could be really good for the show. I'm just wondering if they're going to figure that out.
Yeah. I definitely like I know we're focusing on Chloe, but I do definitely want to see Sarah also kind of like yeah, like step up also as a leader and kind of, dominate with Chloe and with everyone else. I mean, I would say they're like very very strong females and strong personalities. It will be very interesting to see them all kind of work together and like you mentioned previously, newbie Veronica. I feel like she is super talented and definitely also has a very strong personality in her own way. And I feel like, I mean, now that there are less females in general, like, we see the rookies, they're they're loosely involved. I mean, they are involved, but like I feel now more than ever, like they're gonna have to involve Veronica a lot more just because they are lacking like the females. So I think that is also very interesting to see kind of how they're gonna weigh that out.
Morgan, do you have a favorite moment from season 50 that you saw from Chloe Fineman?
I mean, I love all of her impressions, but I have to say one of my favorite ones was Jennifer Coolidge, her impression of her, when they were doing the Maybelline commercial and they were across from each other and kind of, mocking each other. That was definitely like a very big moment, like on SNL, but then also just like culturally with like everything going on with Jennifer and with White Lotus and, all of Jennifer's other roles going on. So yeah, I was definitely really liked that. And I'm excited to see kind of I feel like Chloe surprises us with her impressions. Like we know that she has, her signature, ones that she likes to do a lot, kind of like what Kate used to do with like her signature people. But, Chloe on Instagram, even like she makes Instagram videos like doing impressions of like random things that are going on and like, so she can quickly perform and do them. So I am excited to see what we're going to see out of that this season as well. I mean, depending on like, yeah, what's going on in the universe.
That Jennifer Coolidge piece I thought was fantastic. It was very reminiscent of things that we've seen before with Jimmy Fallon on the show. And I think that Dana Carvey being in the building at the start of season 50, it was just cool for him, one of the greatest impressionists ever, to then see Chloe Fineman and be able to participate in one of her sketches. He was praising her tremendously for being able to produce that. You mentioned Chloe on Instagram, and I think that that's like a really good point that we should talk about here, which is she has become like prolific on social media for producing content. You talked about her in fashion, her walking around doing impressions. Like she is always online. And I do wish, part of me does wish that that translated better to the show. I still think that the show is trying to figure out like how to use somebody like that. We saw them, take James Austin Johnson, who did political impressions on TikTok, and bring him to the show, and now he's playing Trump. You had Jane Wickline, who was doing TikTok stuff, and now is on the show. Chloe, for many years, like she's been so popular online, but yet we don't always see that for every SNL episode that we get to watch. Why do you think that is? And is there anything that you see on social media that you wish would translate better to the show?
Yeah, so social media in general, I mean, I feel like, yeah, Chloe has tapped into it. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to utilize SNL into it, but then she knows kind of how to do her own skits that like are making her stand out and gaining that reach, and she's growing her following like so fast. And I think, yeah, now more than ever, I mean, we see it with Bowen now, and honestly a lot of the cast are starting to tap more into it, but also SNL, which I think is great because I mean, some people, they're not up late watching it, but they are watching it on social media and they're seeing it, they're sharing it. It's just driving more awareness to SNL and to the cast members in general. So, I mean, I think overall it's definitely a positive, and I'm also excited to see what SNL's social team is going to continue to whip up this season for sure.
Yeah, we just heard Lauren at the Emmys talk more about how he's looking into ways that people find comedy, and that's part of why he reinvents the show. It's the change is good for the show because you find new ways to bring comedy into the show, and you see that with some of the new hires. And that may be a reason why Chloe is still at the show, or why either she stayed or was kept on, because she's so tapped in. That's something of value to the producers of Saturday Night Live. And I just wonder if, with the with the space now that's been created with Heidi and Ego leaving the show, if there is more room for Chloe to bring in some of the things that really work for her online into the show. So that's something I'm definitely thinking about when it comes to how we may see Chloe in season 51 of Saturday Night Live. Morgan, overall, as we prepare for Chloe's 7th season at the show, do you think this is potentially her last one? Or does she have like a lot more to give to the show?
I mean, she is very talented, and I feel like she could, continue giving. And But I mean, I thought that also with Heidi and with Ego. So I feel like we don't know. Like it's so hard, to know. I hope that she stays. I mean, that's just selfishly because I like her a lot. But if not, I know she's going to continue doing amazing things in the comedy space, in the entertainment world, on social media. Just like I hope Heidi and Ego and, everyone else that left will continue to do. And yeah, I think the females this season, they have a chance to step up. I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of them now that there's only 5 of them. And, they usually like kind of do their rotations and circle around. And I mean, obviously, we know certain people get more screen time than others. But I mean, now more than ever, the females are going to be dominating for sure. And I'm excited for that and excited to see how it's all going to play out and what other surprises they have in store for us.
Any final predictions for Chloe as we enter season 51?
Predictions. I mean, like I said, I feel like she's going to be a star. I hope alongside Sarah. I mean, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of great impressions with her. I also have to say my other favorite impression that I blanked out on was Drew Barrymore. I love when she does that one. But like we said, like she will randomly just do new ones like on her Instagram. So I hope we see some new impressions from her. Of course, she can do the, other ones that she, reoccurringly plays. But yeah, I'm excited to see kind of some new impressions and see kind of how the sketch distribution is going to be, alongside all the cast members and the females, really. And, also with all the upcoming hosts and musical guests, and see how, Chloe is alongside them, I think, and with all the cast members. I always think that's very interesting to see.
It'll be very exciting to see what we're going to get from Chloe Fineman. And Morgan, I can't wait to cover it all with you this season, where you will be joining us again throughout the year to talk through our thoughts on season 51 of Saturday Night Live. Let us know what you think of Chloe Fineman and her coming back this season. Would love to see your thoughts in the comments and any predictions that you have if you've been listening along day by day. We want to get those into the YouTube comments, and to never miss any of the shows that we are doing here. We have these cast previews going every single day. Subscribe to the podcast, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and you can follow us on all social platforms at the SNL Network. Morgan has always been a big champion of our marketing team over here. Morgan, you're happy with everything we're doing on socials?
Oh my gosh, we are killing it. We have a lot going on, a lot of content, a lot of podcast episodes dropping. So exciting to see everything that is brewing. And, Chloe, if you're watching this, I know you watch our stuff. I see you viewing my stuff too. We love you. We're so excited for you this season. We're happy that you're staying. Girl power. And yeah, no, I'm excited for the season. I mean, right after 50, I hope that they continue trying new things, taking risks, keeping the audience on their toes. And I'm excited to talk all about it right here with you, John.
Yeah, so excited for that. And Morgan, do you have anything that you want to plug to our listeners?
Just you can find me at Morgan Killoren. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. But yeah, just excited for the season. Can't believe it's already September. And yeah, everyone, we have lots going on. So stay tuned.
Yeah, should be great. So appreciate everybody hanging out with us day after day as we're talking about these new cast members coming on in and the ones that are returning for season 51. Of course, we have our countdown series from the summer of the greatest SNL episodes of all time available to you now, and then a lot more coverage of season 51 as we get closer to the season. So thanks to Morgan for joining us here today, and thank you to Late Nighter for being our presenting partner for the show. On behalf of everyone here at the SNN, my name is John Schneider, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.
On the Saturday Night Network.